Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to discuss related to the topic of the material management, that is vendor analysis. So, vendor analysis is one of the key process in the procurement function of every organization. So, for any of the procurement process, the important part is the vendor analysis. So, we'll give this simple example is related to any of the function if we have at our home. So we go for the searching of the various vendors for various kind of the services. It may be for the catering services, or it may be related to the shopping purpose and all those things. So we select some of the suppliers from the market, and or the vendors from the market, and we uh, do the or do we finalize those people. So in the same manner, if we have or we have to start with our business, the important part is the market survey and to analyze the exact vendors for our expansion of the market or expansion of the business. So vendor rating is an analysis of the suppliers based on performance. So vendor rating system is important part, or where we get this thing in each and every sector now. Even in the private sector we have this rating system. So if you go for any online shopping also, it may be for the Amazon or any of the other sources. So after delivery of the product, we have to give the rating to the particular company, that whatever the Amazon is there and their services is provided. So for that we have to give the rating. In the same manner we have for the online food system also. It may be for the Zomato or Swiggy or any other companies are there. So it's a process that we order some food, then the order is delivered by the restaurant. It is confirmed by them, it is prepared by them, and later on it is handed over to the company person or a delivery boy, and he drop at our home. So this entire process, so whatever the after completion of the entire cycle, we get a rating system on our mobile application only, and when we go for the rating of the particular restaurant also, and for that company also. So whatever the parcel is to be shipped by the delivery boy, so for that also we have the rating system. So these are the few things which are related to the suppliers only, and why this is to be done, why this rating is to be done, in order to estimate the supplier's real technical quality competencies related to the delivered products. So whatever the thing is done is nothing but to improvise the things or to check the competencies of the restaurant. So for that, technical thing is nothing but whatever the order we have done, so it is exactly as per that technical aspect, as per the specification and all those things. And the second part is the quality competencies. So at last everything end at the quality only, so it should be as per the quality. Then next part is the vendor analysis and the performance improvement are a part of quality standards. So at last, this vendor analysis and performance improvement are a part of quality standards only. So in order to set our quality or to set our vision or to set our organization at some level, we have to focus on these two parts, that is vendor analysis and the performance improvement. So whenever the company receives the material on the right time from the supplier, they can able to maintain the demand from the market, and this demand and supply could be balanced with the help of this, and definitely they would get the maximum order in future if they give the material or whatever the product at the right time to the customer. So and with the right quality also. So for that, this vendor analysis and performance improvement is important. So in the next slide we would see that there is a evaluation of the vendors. So evaluation of vendors is nothing but creating a strong and consistent vendor base. So strong and consistent vendor base means we should have a exact vendors, so that should be strong enough, and it should be consistent enough to provide all the material at the right time with the right quality and with the right specification. So for that, these are few things which are to be focused in the evaluation of the vendors. So the first part is the quality. So there is no any other option for this. Then next part is the price. So we have some comparative statement, as the same thing which we do in the tendering process also. We call the lot many contractors, they fill the tender, they submit the tender, then analysis is to be done. So analysis is done based on the price only. So lowest 3 tenderers are selected, and then we allot the contract to the lowest person. Then the price is the second part. Then the third part is the delivery. So delivery means on time delivery is there or no, so that is to be very important. And the next part is the buyer ratings. So as this thing already we have discussed, that rating should be given for on each and every process of this evaluation of the vendors, in this evaluation of the vendors. Then next part is the inspection should be done at every step, so we can able to get the exact competencies at each and every level, and if we have some flaws in any of the level, so we can reduce down those flaws and we can improvise ourselves. So this is the next part of the evaluation of the vendors. So next part is the benefits. So evaluation of the supplier overall performance in the area of quality, on time delivery, and price and assembly complaints, services, and to identify opportunity areas of improvement. So this benefits will get from this particular vendor analysis, that whatever the thing which we are ordering or we are selecting, so the quality we are getting from them. On time delivery is important part. Then next is the price wise concession we are getting, or we are getting a discount on the prices. Then assembly complaints are there, and last part is the services to and to identify opportunity areas of improvement. So as we have discussed this in the inspection above point, that at each and every level if we go for this areas of improvement, so if when we provide some services we should get some ratings for that, and we get some suggestions for that, and based on that we improvise ourselves. So even if you do the Google, any of the whether we are searching from the Google itself, or it may be any of the uh, services. So in that case, on Google also we get the rating system, that is 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or 5 star rating. Based on that rating system and the reviews which are given by the customers, so based on that we select or we go for the reference of those particular vendors. So this is nothing but to improvise ourselves, and if we give the proper services, definitely will satisfy the entire demand of the suppliers, customers, and we can provide a good services to them. The next part is the tracking the performance of the vendor over a specified period. So this tracking the performance of the vendor over a specified period means that in the first order we get a very good uh, response from the vendor, but as time goes on, so vendor will not give that type of the response, or he will not give on time delivery and all those things. So this may be a part that he just want to do the business, so that's why in the first order he has shown his very good response, and later on he has started his or he's delaying the entire orders and all those things. So this tracking of the performance is not for the first order only, it should be carried out for each and every order for the long time basis. So then only we can able to analyze this exact vendor for our company. So tracking is very important when we are starting our new business. When the business is to be started, we do the market survey, we select few of the vendors, and then we go for the tracking of that person for the entire project. After completion of the project, if we are starting with the first building or first construction project, so in that case we go for the selection of the cement supplier, we go for the selection of the sand supplier, aggregate, or whatever the raw material we require on the site, steel may be there. So we order from for some quantity of the material, and at what time we are getting it, and or what prices we are getting it. So everything which we get, so based on that we do the analysis whether this person will give the service in a good manner or not, and based on that we do the analysis. So for the first project, we check all the vendors which are available in the market, which is available at the feasible rate also, and within with good quality also. So based on that, we would able to finalize the vendors for our next project also. So this is the simple thing why this tracking is required. So the next part is the objectives. So to evaluate the vendors, to develop a quality vendor base to meet global challenges. So to evaluate vendors, to develop a quality vendor base means this is nothing but we have to finalize, or we have to make our vendor base very strong. At any time when we require any of the material, without hesitation, that person or that supplier would supply the material to you. And if we have a very long term and a good relationship with the supplier, so definitely he will not talk first about money and all those things. First he will think that this particular customer requires at very the material is required at very prime importance, so we have to provide him a material. Then later on we'll see the what are the prices and what are the financial aspect is there. So for this only we have to maintain a very quality vendor base. And when the quality vendor base can be maintained, when that supplier provides the material at the right time with the right quality and at the right cost also. So next part is the coach and help suppliers quality for higher level. So this is nothing but it provides a coaching only and helps to help suppliers quality for higher level. So overall thing is done for the quality only, and in order to get the quality at a higher level, so this vendor analysis is required. So we can exactly identify the suppliers and we can select the suppliers. Then reward the suppliers who demonstrate continuous growth. So that thing is to be done, that reward suppliers who demonstrate continuous growth. If you see in the electronic business, or in any other companies, or it may be any other supplier also, so we have some dealers for that, then some dealers are there. So dealer, when we'll get the dealership, when we have a good business in the market, when we try to get or reach up to that target within 1 month only, so definitely we'll get the leadership. We can able to expand our business and we can able to become a dealer for that particular product. So in electronic business the same thing is there. So whatever the person who is selling the maximum electronic items in the market, so he'll get the dealership for that, and the sub dealers will take the material from that particular person. So this is the thing which is required, and we should give some rewards to those people also, that they are providing the or they are satisfying the demand of the customers also, and they are providing the material with the right quality and with the right quantity also at right cost also. So definitely the rewards are to be given to the suppliers. Then the share suppliers performance. So this is important, that when we are getting a good experience, we should write some review, we should give some feedback to that particular suppliers. So this thing already we have discussed, and on Google we could able to find out this, that many people shares the suppliers performance, so or what are the vendor performance, and that from their ratings and the reviews we can able to identify the thing. The next part is the system evaluates the performance of the vendors and projects the future performance and corrective action required to improve their efficiency. So this system evaluates the performance of the vendors and projects the future performance and corrective action required to improve their efficiency. This, if we have a proper system for this vendor selection, and we have some technical and all the points which are covered under these questionnaires, so we can exactly find out the future performance of the supplier also, or the vendor also. And based on that, if there are some flaws in the particular thing, so some corrective actions are suggested to the supplier, and we can cope up with whatever the flaws are there, and we can improvise the efficiency of that particular supplier. The next part is it helps to improve the production efficiently and accurately. Now, how to improve the production efficiently and accurately? It is mostly applicable for the manufacturing units, where the we have to improve the production efficiently and accurately, means based on the market or whatever the demand is there, and if we are satisfying those demands in the proper at the right time, and definitely with the good quality also. So this production efficiently and accurately, uh, so efficiency can be improved, and we can get maximum orders through this thing. Then continuous evaluation to track the vendor performance. So we have to go for the right system for this, and we have to find out the we should have the tracking system in the sense, continuous assessment should be done for each and every vendor. Now from this entire vendor analysis, what kind of reports we are generating? Reports in the sense, we get some output from this entire process. So first output we would get, or report we would get, is the categories and the research searches vendors geographically. So this is very important, where we are staying. From that particular area we can able to categorize the vendors, and also we can search the vendors geographically means where it is to be located, how far it is there from the our site, or particular organization. So based on this, entire categorization or searching is to be done. Next part is vendor suppliers scorecard application. So this is the next part, that whatever the vendors or the suppliers are there, so we have some scorecard for application. For this scorecard application, nothing but whatever the review ratings we are giving, so it is nothing but a scorecard only. Then checklist is there. So checklist, we can go for some questionnaire survey also, and we can able to identify, and we just go on ticking the various points in that, and we can able to analyze the supply from that thing also. So whenever you will be doing your project work or your dissertation work or your seminar work also, mostly in construction management we go for this questionnaire survey only. So maximum project are based on questionnaire survey. So this questionnaire survey is nothing but to evaluate the organization, to evaluate the problem which is there in the construction industry. So for that we are going for this. Then central repository database of vendors, that includes information about each vendor business, address, goods supplied, etc. Then if any of the poor evaluation is there, then and other details about the vendor's history. So this central repository database is nothing but where we are going for some use of some application. So in our institute we are using this particular thing, that is central repository database. So based on the ERP, whatever the ERP software is there, it is available in our college. We are using it for student purpose also, and we are using it for the means whatever the student record is there, we are maintaining that ERP. So for this business, or sorry, not for the business, means for the particular selection of the vendors and all those things, we are having a database of the vendors in the ERP system only. So in order to expand the business of the vendors also, and in order to get some services from the vendors also, we have some fixed vendors. So from where we would get the each and every product at very right time, and with a good quality also. So as we require lot many material in our laboratories also, some consumable materials are there. Then we require some stationaries, some what are the electronic gadgets are there, it may be some batteries and all those things. So for that, each and every supplier is to be very well segregated, and it is to be a strong database is prepared for them. And we are having the entire history of that particular each and every vendor. When you click on that particular vendor, you will get the entire report card of that vendor, that what he has supplied till yet, and at what time we have ordered, and what time he has delivered the product, and all those things. So every detail you will get from this. So this central repository database is very important. Then vendor approved database, reasons for rejection based on the merit rating and comparison of the vendors. So vendors approved database and reasons for rejection based on the merit rating. So approved database means what are the approved vendors are there. So we have some reasons for that, and even we have some reasons for rejection of those particular vendors also. So this should be in the very proper manner. It should not be just for the partiality and all those things. Based on exact evaluation system which we are using for these vendors, it should be followed, and based on that only we can able to map that particular vendor. And comparison of vendors is also important. So when we are doing a comparative statement, so as you have an assignment for this contracts subject also, there we have to do the comparative analysis, and we have to, at last when you do the comparison based on the cost, we again have to comment few things, that why this cost is lesser and why this cost is higher. So whatever the contractors are there, so lowest four contractors we are selecting, and in that case why this cost variation is there between A and B, B and C, or whatever A and C and all those things. So in that case we should have some valid excuses for this particular comparison of the vendors, because they are doing the same kind of work with the same kind of specification and all those things. Even in the suppliers, they are giving the same brand of the cement and all those things, with the good quality and with reasonable rate also. So we should have some valid excuses for this comparison also. Then flexibility in the report selection. So we should have some flexibility in the report selection also. So when we are preparing some report, when we are doing some analysis and by mistake some may happen, something may happen. In that case we should have some editable option, but it should be limited access to the whatever the higher authorities are there. Then security prevents unauthorized access to the sensitive information. So that is important, that mostly in the government and all those things, each and every information is secure, and they have to maintain these things. We should not allow any unauthorized access to the sensitive information. So the next part is the online bidding solutions. Before that, few points I would discuss related to this. What are the features which we have discussed, or a report we have seen, that a vendor rating system is targeted toward companies who have streamlined the process and who are conscious of material source. So in order to get the exact material and all those things, we have to streamline the process, and we should be conscious about whatever the material which has been sourced. So all these companies routinely face situation where there are multiple suppliers for a single item and have to select appropriate vendor. So the software definitely address all these requirement. So in whatever the software we have, based on the analysis and based on whatever the system which we are using, so you should give the exact result. Exact result means which supplier we should go for this type, or we should select appropriate supplier for that. Then does the vendor performance statistics include purchase items that were late, percentage of the cost variation between the expected and the billed prices, and percentage of delivered items rejected also. So these are few statistics we should have on very priority, that purchase items which in that which items were given led by the supplier, which were given before time and all those things. Then next part is the percentage of the cost variation also. So whatever the cost variation is there, it should also give some statistics for that, and percentage of delivered items or rejected one. So that is also important, that when the particular material is to be supplied and it receives at the particular site, but there may be some damaged material, so we reject that particular. So if the damaged material goes on increasing or percentage goes on increasing, so definitely that marking system will reduce down the score of that particular supplier. So the report presents the average lead time and the average days late for each and every vendor. So this is the exact output we should get, that average lead time. Lead time means just hauling of the particular or the transportation of the particular material from the supplier go down till the site and all those things. So this lead time should be as minimum as possible. The next is numerous conclusions can be drawn by analyzing these results for technical, qualitative, and management point of view, as well as with respect to delivery time also. The analysis extended to various suppliers gives a general assessment on qualification status. So strengths can then be examined to evaluate the improvement or the deterioration in the quality performance. So ultimately, whatever the thing which we are doing or whatever the report is to be generated, we can exactly evaluate and suggest some improvements for that particular quality performance. Now next is the online bidding solution. So we secure so one of the common procurement method would be online bidding solution. So online bidding is simple to use, gives you a real time information, enabling you to make decisions based on actual pricing and data, and one can take the advantage of the opportunities that impact your bottom line. So this online bidding solution, as it is applicable for the contract, civil contract also, it is applicable for the material selection also. We get lot many paper notice in as the online bidding is nowadays, it is to be common for the, entire India or for the government and all those things. So before this we used to have the paper notice and all those things. In the paper notice we'll get the notice for this supply of the material also. So in the same process which we follow for the contractorships, the same thing is to be followed for this vendors also, but the clauses and all those things are different based on the supply of the material. So it is completely, or we can say purely it would be a business point of view. Now this, what are the salient features for this particular online bidding solution is, first one is the online system should be secure enough. It should not leak at any of the point. It should not leak any of the information to any other person. Allow vendors to access information without seeing the company's name of other bidders. Setting time and date for the bids, that is very important part. Then history of the listed bidding is there. Then quality audits are there. Then submission by of bids by vendors in an electronic format, so that is important. So when we have a BOQ, the BOQ is always in the Excel sheet, so we just have to go for plus and minus. So above or below we are selecting, it may be a percentage variation, so based on that percentage, entire percentage will vary. So electronic format should be proper and it should be conveyed to each and every person or the supplier. Then notification to the vendors of bid, award and delivery specification, so it may be accepted or rejected, so we should convey all the or notify all the things to the particular suppliers. Then last is the option to post bid awards to purchase the orders. So this option can be there. So at some emergency part we require some material on the site, and in that case we can go for the this whatever the post bid process means. Before only we give some orders to the means, it is nothing but already we have seen in the negotiated contracts that contractor is fixed, as this work or would be carried out by this particular contractor only, because he is capable enough to do that. In the same manner, in the suppliers also, we have some for some kind of material we have very limited suppliers, and in that case we have to rely on those particular suppliers only. So we directly go for the bidding or purchase order to the particular supplier, and later After the purchase order and all those things, we go for the bidding process. It is just for the formality or thing. So as in some emergency cases where we have some limited contractors or where we have some limited supplies for any of the material, so definitely we should follow this thing. But in this case, the quality and all those things, it is not at all compromised. The same things are applicable to that particular person also. So this is not compromised in anywhere in this particular process. Now this vendor selection process, how to select a vendor formally, so that is the question which is there in the particular selection process. So the vendor selection process is probably one of the most important tasks that a business will undertake. Without good vendors who provide your quality stock, business services, and the company supplies at competitive prices with good terms and delivery schedules, your company's bottom line and profits will be sorely compromised. So ultimately, everyone will look after the business only. So for this selection of the vendors, the vendor should give, means we should select the vendors based on price, based on quality, and who is giving at a very cheaper rate with the same quality of the material. So that would be selected for the vendors, whatever for the business point of view. So we have some two vendor selection process. So that is by choosing it directly and by letting vendors for your work. So choosing it directly means this is a very common option where we have vendors usually are pre-decided. We directly give the order to the person and then we get the material for. So mostly in the private industry, or if you see in the construction industry, if we are dealing with these things, so definitely we have already fixed customers, fixed suppliers are there, and we directly give the order on phone, and he just deliver that particular material. But in government process, we have to do the entire process through proper channel, and then only we would able to get the vendors, and we do the analysis and all those things, and then we can get the material on the site. Whereas other option, by letting vendor tender for your work, so this vendor usually tender for more complex and ad hoc work, as well as contracts that will be last for a year or more, where your work is to be proceeded for one more than 1 year or 2 year. In that case, we go for this second option. So that is nothing but an online bidding system or a tendering system. So we give for the tendering, tender notice and all those things, and the same processes to be continued, as we have already discussed this thing in our contract also. The same processes to be followed. The next part is the requirements for a proper process to selecting a vendor. Now what products do you require? So requirement has to be conveyed to the particular supplier or to the particular market, then only we can able to analyze, or we would able to select the exact vendor. So what products do you require is the first question. Then second is what quality levels are you seeking for. Then third is what stock levels do you require. So stock levels is very important, as already this thing we have discussed in our construction construction contracts or subject also, that there is one of the schedule of the entire project. So based on that schedule, we can able to do the arrangement for each and every thing on the site. It may be for the equipment, it may be for the material, or it may be for the labor and all those things. So this thing is required. So stock levels, at what date will require how much stock, the entire schedule should be ready for the entire project of the based upon the calendar dates and all those things. How often do you require the deliveries? So that is nothing but EOQ analysis. So EOQ is nothing but economic order quantity, what exact order we should give, and in minimum orders we should get a maximum material, and we should able to satisfy the entire demand from the site also. And the last part is, what price points are you seeking for? So price points are you seeking for means we have some adjustment. If I'll just give the example for this online shopping also. When we go for the online shopping, we have some filter process. So which brand you are searching for, then next part would be the prices, based upon the price from low to high, high to low. So that thing is very important, that at up to what price you are seeking for the particular product. So if you give some exact detail of this thing, so definitely you can get or filter out the various suppliers, and you can get the exact suppliers for it or exact vendors for this. Then last part of this is the steps for the vendor selection. So this thing is important for your exam point of view also, that we have to explain the steps in a very proper manner. So first one is to analyze your business requirement. So definitely that any of the uh, business, so we should have a very pre-decided requirements. So pre-decided requirement, it is important to first analyze your business needs before you even begin to search for a vendor in India. Assemble a vendor selection and evaluation team who would give the responsibility of finding a suitable vendor for India, and discuss with your management and your vendor selection team about what your company wants to outsource. So this thing is very important, that at very ground level, whatever the person which are there at the ground level, with mostly the site supervisors or junior engineer or site engineer is there. So he knows the reality, and he can able to convey these things to the higher authority, that what kind of material, when we'll require it, and in what quantity we'll require it, at what quality we'll require it. So that person should be involved in whatever the vendor selection team is there. So he should give the exact details of the site, and as per the schedule he can able to give the requirement, and based on that we can able to finalize our requirement also. Define in writing the service or the product that your company wants to outsource to India. So this thing is important, that what kind of material we should outsource. Suppose if you see in the township projects, in township project, where they require the concrete at very uh, large quantity, in that case they go for the plant of the RMC plant at the site itself. They own their own. They go for their own RMC plant, and they get the entire concrete from that RMC. So they can minimize this vendor selection process. They can minimize the transportation and all those things. So we should decide that what should be in our in-house project and what should be outsourced. So this should be decided based upon your requirements. If the requirement is high enough, so definitely it's better to go for in-house only. Once your company has finalized and what should be outsourced, you have to define the business and technical requirement that outsourced service product would require. So when it is in-house, we know the requirement, we know the specification, we know the quality. But when you go for the outsourcing, so that should be very pre-decided, that each and every person should know that this kind of material is required in our organization. So based on that they go for searching of the vendors. And finally, decide on the requirements that a prospective Indian vendor should have. So ask your management team to analyze all the requirements and create a final document stating your business and a vendor requirement. So we should have some output from this particular thing. So we should get the exact requirements. Exact requirement in the sense, what quantity will require, and what brand will require, what specification will require, all the things in a very, at a very micro level it should be studied, and it should be put in front of the management, and then later on the process is to be followed. So this first step is very important and very key process for any of the selection. If you have a very clear path, very clear requirements, you will not have any confusion in the next processes which are coming in this vendor selection. So this entire thing is covered in the first step. Then second part would be the search for a vendor. Now, with a clearly defined business and a vendor requirement, your vendor selection team would be able to easily find a suitable vendor in India who can deliver the service or product that you wish to outsource. Ask your team to compile a list of possible Indian vendors, but remember that not all vendors would meet your requirements. After conducting the interviews and researching on the suitable vendor background, you will have to select a few vendors from whom you would like more information, and your vendor selection team can then write a request for information RFI and send it to the selected vendors. So in this search for a vendor process, we should have a very proper selection team over there who should convey our requirement to the market. Based upon that, we can get the exact details from the market, and we can able to analyze the exact vendors that is capable enough to supply this material on to our organization. So that is important. So your vendor selection team can then write a request for information. Just remember this word, that is RFI, request for information. So this request for information is just some kind of the format. It is to be given to the various vendors, the selected vendors. So they would go through this form and they would fill up this form or information, and they would give it to the particular selection team. So the next level would be to evaluate the responses from the vendors and create a short list of the Indian vendors. So when we have this request for information forms or applications, then we can scrutinize those things and we can filter out those vendors that is not capable enough to supply the material. So write a request for proposal. Next part is a request for proposal and request for quotation. So this is the next process which are to be followed, that you have analyzed your business requirement and shortlisted a few Indian vendors and that you wish to evaluate. Now you have to write a request for quotation or request for proposal. So this proposal is to be taken from these various vendors, or the quotation is taken. So it contains the sections such as submission details, introduction, then executive summary, an overview and background of the business, detailed specification, assumptions and constraints, terms and condition, and selection criteria. So in this proposal, the entire portfolio should be presented by the vendors. So portfolio means up till now who are the customers for the particular person, so how many times he has delivered the product to those particular companies. Then based upon that summary, then we have overview, background. So that thing is very important, that in our if you search for any of the vehicle in the market, also new vehicle, so we just go through the company's website, we go for the various kind of the reviews by the auto experts also, and then we go for the selection of the particular vehicle. So we should scrutinize all the things in detail. So same thing here, the supplier should put, or the vendor should put himself or present himself in a very proper manner, that he would get a maximum business from this particular thing. So request for quotation is very important part for the supplier side or it from the vendor side. Then the next process, fourth process, is evaluating the proposal and selecting the vendor. Now to begin with, conduct a preliminary review of all the vendors proposal. Next step would be to state your business requirement and vendor requirement, discuss with your management team and assign an importance value for each requirement. Next, assign the performance value for each requirement, and now all you have to do is calculate a total performance score and choose the winning Indian vendor. So that is nothing but evaluation process, or it is nothing but scrutinizing process which we are doing. So whatever the proposal we are getting, based on that we are preparing some scorecard, performance score, and then we calculate those performance score, and then we go for selection of the vendor. So what we have discussed in our construction contract, that was a pre-qualification. In the pre-qualification there were 4 to 5 points that based upon that we should able to give the score to each and every point, and based upon that point or a score, that person is to be qualified for the next round, or we can say the for the uh, exact contractor we would get for the next process or a scrutinizing process. So it was, means the in construction contracts is this process should be done twice. First process is to pre-qualify the things, and then second one would be the selection based upon the cost. So whatever the lowest three tenders are there, so it would be the second process. But in this case, at the first only we would do the evaluation, we get the score for the performance of the supplier, and then later on we just select the vendor. And the last part is creating a contract negotiation strategy. So the creating a contract negotiation strategy is the final step in our in the Indian vendor selection process. Rank your priorities along with alternatives, clearly define the benchmarks and time constraints, evaluate your risk and liabilities. So this thing should be very clear, that what should be the benchmark for each and everything, time constraints we should give for the delivery and all those things. Then evaluate your risk and liabilities. Risk and liabilities is very important, that any of the thing happens during transportation of any of the material and those things, so at that time who would be the responsible person and all those things. So lot many risks are there, so it may be a risk analysis should be done for this thing. Also state the level of confidentiality required. So this thing is very important, that mostly for the where the business or the supplies is for the some very important projects. So it may be a nuclear power plant and all those things. In that case, all the levels of whether all the things are confidential only, and we have to maintain those things. So it depends upon, or it vary as per the project to project. Then remember to mention the changes in the requirements. So that is important, that if we have any of the change in the requirement, we should first convey this thing to the supplier or the vendor, so before coming that particular material on the site itself, or otherwise we'll have to pay for that particular extra material which is coming on the site. Understanding the difference between what you want and what you need. So what you want and what you need is very important. So what you need means it is exact priority. We want means we are just getting that particular material. We not analyze the thing that whether it will require it in the future or not. But what you need will be the exact requirement, that this thing is needed on the site and we should have that material in our stock. So from the outsourcing contract, it can help you create a better strategy. So mostly in the outsourcing only we can able to get, or you can able to create a good strategy for these things, and definitely means this thing would beneficial for the entire business process, even for the supplier also, or a vendor also, and it even for your organization also. So this is the exact uh, points which are to be covered under this vendor analysis. Thank you for listening.